It's another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of our live Saturday broadcast from InWheelTime.com. Well, welcome everybody from Studio A in Texas, USA. It's the award-winning all things automotive car talk show, In Wheel Time. Just ahead, a review of the new car of the week, the 2020 Toyota Highlander. This week in automotive history and stories making auto news headlines. We got that and more on today's In Wheel Time car show for Saturday, October the 17th, 2020. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. They're whispering down there. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. King Conrad DeLong here. I'm Don Armstrong. Jeff Zekin's right off camera and making sure that we do all the things that we're supposed to do, which we're not doing. Why should we now?
Yeah,
Why should
we haven't done it in years. Why should we start now?
There's no reason for any of that. Do we happen to have our first guest?
Yeah, he's trying to get them all queued up and talk to him.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm sure that you guys will be sure and let me know when that happens. But we were talking briefly just a moment ago about how to steal a new car. And if you don't hotwire it, I don't know actually how to even begin doing something like that.
You have to understand the security systems built into them.
But really, 38,000 nationwide. You mean to tell me there are that many people using laptops to steal cars these days?
No. Some of it's just breaking in and getting in, knowing how to jump inside the electronics and make stuff happen.
Because it's all going through the computer.
Very much so.
It has to understand the key or the fob.
But if you understand where when you tell that computer something's happening, you can make cars start.
Can you get under the hood and make them start? I don't see how.
No, because all of that computer stuff's more going to be the information it needs to start's going to really come from inside, basically from the steering column, But part of that high number of 38,000 is driven by how many Ford F-150s are out there on the road. Through the years, you've always...
Well, it is the number one selling vehicle of all time in the United States.
And it has been for like 42 years.
But 38,000 of them stolen?
That's less than 1,000 a year.
Last year.
But it's the parts and stuff. For a while, the tailgates, you couldn't keep tailgates on. That's why they started locking them and stuff.
Yeah. Some of them are stealing them with a wrecker.
Exactly.
Just haul up and drag it on the back of a wrecker.
Well, there's that. That's the only thing that I could think
of. Because parting one out's more valuable than having a whole vehicle.
No.
As you're selling the pieces to one.
Or shipping it overseas or something.
And they talk about chop shops. And you go into some of these chop shops, and Houston's got they've caught quite a few of them here.
Have you ever heard of Llano Estacado?
In the songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, sing that for me.
Oh, please don't. Let's move on to the guest.
I'm trying to think of what it is. It's in, I think it was in Tin Cup, the movie Tin Cup.
Uh-huh.
That was about a golf pro out in West Texas.
That movie was shot here in Houston,
Was it?
Uh-huh. But
I think in the song for that,
sir, you're avoiding the request.
Yes,
the request
I am. As
is
hard as
Llano
I
Estacado. I want you to sing that song.
Or it's a beer. I'm not sure which.
Beer. That's perfect. All right. Well, joining us right now, speaking of Llano Estacado, is Bryant Blakemore. Bryant, how are you, brother?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on this morning.
You bet. It's great to talk. So, do you know of a song called Llano Estacado?
There's a Cooter Graw song that's entitled Llano Estacado.
There you go. I knew that.
Is that how it was? Is that how this event was named?
Kind of. So the Llano Estacado is basically the caprock of the plains of northwest Texas in the Lubbock area generally. And it extends down all the way to Snyder and Midland, Odessa, and through that area. And this event is in that area, so we use that as the name.
I love it. Okay, so tell us what is it? It's Llano Estacado. It's a desert race, correct?
Right, that's correct.
So this is an off-road event with off-road vehicles.
Right, absolutely. So desert racing in Texas has been going on for about 12 years or so in some form or fashion.
Okay.
Right now, I'm working with the Texas Desert Racing Association, the TDRA. They've been racing in West Texas for about 7 years, and we race everything from dirt bikes all the way to, $1 million trophy trucks, just like you'd see in the Baja 1000 and the Baja 500 down in Mexico. It's the same style of racing that we have here.
Well, that is so cool. So what about the track, or shall we say the off-road adventure?
The course.
Who set that up? I mean, have you been using this exact course through the years?
So this piece of property in No Trees, Texas, just to the west of Odessa, has been used for about 10 years or so. The landowner there is very receptive to our sport and lets us go out there and run. In fact, if you get on Google Earth and look it up, you can see a lot of the course through the satellite imagery. It's been there long enough for that. And that's one of the interesting things about Texas is that because everything in Texas is privately owned instead of public like it is out west, it is a unique challenge. However, when we do find landowners that are receptive to the sport, we find that we can work together very well. And fortunately, this property in No Trees is like that. So the course has been beat in after a few years. This particular race will be running on a short course, and it's about 25 miles long. On average, desert races, you see course lengths between 20 and 120 miles per lap, or a point-to-point race, which would be however long the race would be from point A to point B without coming back to point B. But this particular race coming up October 23rd through the 25th is on a 25-mile loop just outside of Odessa.
And how many miles will the race be?
It'll be depending on your class. So the four-wheeled vehicles will race approximately 7 or 8 laps, and it'll be about 175 miles.
Okay.
And then our handlebar classes, which would be motorcycles, ATVs, and our stock UTV side-by-side class, our production class, those guys will only run about 100 miles.
Is it going to be on one day or 3 days?
These events, with as much as is going on for the event to get it started, it has to go on over a couple of days. Racing itself will only be on one day, on Saturday the 24th. On the 23rd is move-in day and tech and contingency, where we go through everybody's vehicles and safety equipment to make sure that they are safe and up to date and have everything that they need to protect themselves, that their cars are in good shape. And then we also allow them a pre-run, so they get to make a lap or two around the course.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Are they allowed to go out and scout the course? And
it depends. It's on a event by event basis, but at this particular event, yes, we are allowing a pre-run.
And then your pit or paddock area is just one place. Will they be able to place any help along the course, or is it you got to come home to fix the truck?
Right. Because this course is so short, 25 miles, we only have one pit area. On our longer courses, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 miles, we will have multiple pit areas as long as they can be reached safely without interfering with the race course.
And then the course is run, the race is run, everybody's on the track, but is this like they do at Baja, you do a timed release every minute, every 3 minutes?
Yes.
There's another vehicle released?
Right, it's timed release. So while you are competing against other racers out there on the course, you are competing against the time officially. So even if you start ahead or behind somebody and you finish ahead or behind somebody, that doesn't mean that they have beat you.
It's all
depending on your start time.
Time to distance.
I want you to hang on. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you. Stay with us. This is the In Wheel Time Car Show.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Show. We're talking with Bryant Blakemore, Llano Estacado Desert Race between, is it Amarillo? Is that where it is? Amarillo and Odessa? I'm sorry.
Right. This race is happening west of Odessa in No Trees, Texas.
No trees.
No trees.
I love that. Do they even have a stoplight in No Trees? I don't believe I've ever even heard. They do not.
They do not. There's not even a stop sign in No Trees.
Great. Does anybody live in No Trees?
I really don't think anybody does. If they do, there's not very many.
Well, at some point, somebody said, you know what? This is a great place for a town. We're going to call it No Trees.
Because there's no trees there.
Well, it should be nobody. Nobody there.
So how many years have you guys been running this race?
These races, as I mentioned before, with the TDRA, have been happening for about 7 years.
Okay.
Desert racing as a whole in Texas in this similar format has been happening for about 12 years. In the state, I've been heavily involved with the sport for about 5. I started getting into this in 2015.
Okay, so do you have a vehicle?
I do. I have a Class 8 truck. My truck is it's Class 8 is
the big bad boys.
Almost nowadays. It's kind of antiquated, especially my truck in particular. But the Class 8 trucks are based off of a production vehicle with minor modifications, but you have to maintain frame rails, full frame rails, and engine location has to be very close to stock and things like that. My truck is a 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive Dodge Ram and a 4-door. So it's a very large vehicle for desert racing, but it's extremely durable.
Can you change suspension components on it? I mean, you got bigger wheel travel on it?
Right. You can. My truck, being that it's 4-wheel drive and a 3/4 ton, is a solid front axle, so I don't have a whole lot of option for building big wheel travel. But in a lot of the Class 8 trucks, you'll see modified I-beam suspension, and then rear will be on 4-link and coilovers, and they'll pull 20 inches of travel front and rear.
Oh wow.
So you're kind of like just one step below those big bad boys.
Pro trucks.
I'm quite a few steps away from that.
Quite a few steps, okay.
But some of the other trucks in that class, yes, they are basically trophy trucks with frame rails.
Trophy trucks.
Trucks are the cream of the crop. That's the very top.
Do they sell? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say there's actually about 20 trophy truck teams in Texas. Not all of them keep their cars here, but they are based out of Texas. It's a growing sport around the state, and I'm glad to be a part of it to kind of help promote it.
Are there going to be 20 trophy trucks there?
Probably not. Usually, on average, these races are like you might consider this more grassroots style of racing.
Yeah.
At our last event that we put on at the Texana Ranch in Blackwell, Texas, we had 66 competitors overall through all of our classes. At that point, we had 10 spec trophy trucks, which is a trophy truck that has limitations. A normal trophy truck is unlimited. These have a motor requirement and a tire size requirement. And we had 10 of those, which is the largest number in Texas that's ever raced. So we're glad to see that kind of growth. And guys from out west coming out here to race when it's literally in their backyard. It's nice to see them come this way and support the growth of the sport out here.
So are you the one that's promoting this? Is this your baby?
It's not my baby per se. I'm the communications director for the TDRA. Like I said, I've been in this sport for about 5 years, racing and promoting. And this organization asked me to come on this year and help them promote their races this year. And, due to the nature of the year and COVID and all that, it's been interesting and challenging to try to put on any event.
So you didn't birth it, but you get to burp it every now and then, huh?
That's right.
So pretty cool year for you guys on off-road racing or desert racing, because with the new introduction of the upcoming Ford Bronco, I imagine, and I know pretty much on the Baja side of things, is generally a pretty good Bronco contingent of the short wheelbase Broncos that show up for these types of events.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see how that's developed. Back in the 70s and 60s and 70s, Broncos were the top. That was the cream of the crop. Rod Hall was one of the best drivers in a Ford Bronco, and he is so far out of 50 years of racing in Mexico, he is the only four-wheel drive to win an overall for the Baja 1000, and it was in a Bronco. So I'm excited to see the new ones come out and see what people do with them.
So are you bringing any known names from the racing world into your event?
At this event, probably not. There's not a lot of heavy names to drop. We've got a lot of local racers that are pretty well known. The Beal family out of Midland, they race out west heavily, and they have 2 or 3 trophy trucks, and they've been competing in the sport for a long time. In fact, we race on one of their properties. Thankfully, the Texana Ranch in Blackwell is their property.
25 miles. I'm sorry. I was just going to say a 25-mile course. That's some heavy-duty property there.
It is, and that's actually a short course. So this property in No Trees, we can run up to about a 50-mile loop on it. And
good Lord,
it's a lot of land.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Won't cross itself.
Hey, okay, so let's talk about the terrain out there. Rocky,
it's like a giant caliche pit. If you can picture that in your mind, white rock, a little bit of red rock, dust, lots of dust. The terrain here, the rocks out here aren't large, but there is some chatter. And because the course has been in for so long, that we do have some good whoop sections, which is where the course, does this for a while.
Right.
And that's a challenge in itself right there.
Any concern with local wildlife? You get to take out a couple of pigs on the way by?
It's possible. The rule is if you hit it, you got to bring it back so we can cook it. But
stop and pick it up.
If you hit it,
roadkill.
Yeah, and if you do it right, you can just kind of clean it there on the side of the road, throw it under the hood, and bring it back cooked.
Right, and it'll be cooked, man. Your pit crew would be real happy if you brought them lunch.
Your car comes back smelling like barbecue.
So, I find this fascinating. I've never been an off-road guy. I've watched lots of it on television, of course. I love the vehicles, and I remember vividly back in the day this stadium off-road racing thing that I absolutely loved, and that's all gone away, and I don't understand what happened to it because it was really a fun event.
Well, a lot of that stadium racing, was production-based, so it was a lot of manufacturers versus manufacturers. And I'm hoping now that with the Raptor being out in 2 or 3 generations so far, the Bronco coming out,
the T-Rex,
Jeep, right, the TRX, which is my personal favorite. I happen to be a Ram not necessarily fan by choice, but I'm a Mopar guy, and so hopefully with these vehicles coming out that are aligned to this sport, we may see a resurgence of manufacturers entering the race world. Chevrolet supports Hall Racing out in the Best in the Desert series in the West, and they race a stock Chevy Colorado in the 7300 class, and they also race a stock Chevy Silverado Trail Boss in the 1200 class. And I hope a lot of the manufacturers pick up on that and do it. You could see some really interesting racing, and Toyota and Nissan can come back in as well, and maybe that short course stuff, stadium stuff, will come back. Well,
Bryant, it's great to talk to you, and we are really looking forward to talking to you in 2 weeks after you finish the event next weekend and getting a report on how things went. And we promise Mars is going to call you, and we're going to line that up because we find it fascinating, and we don't know that much about it, but we want to be there.
At least take some pictures for us.
Yeah,
and one of the things where he's at, don't you pull a lot out of Arizona and New Mexico and surrounding states? Because they're closer than we are to where he's at.
Right. We try to promote out west and show what we have to offer out here. The difficulty with that is that those guys, being that they're in areas with BLM land, they can literally drive out of their driveway and be on public land that they can off-road on and put on events and things like that.
But it's
a bit of a challenge. We have to provide Texas hospitality to them to get them to come out this way and show that while it is the same sport, we do it a little bit differently out here.
Bryant, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much. We'll be in touch with you in a couple of weeks, and good luck to you next weekend.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate y'all having me on the show, and I look forward to coming back.
You got it. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bryant Blakemore, Llano Estacado Desert Race. It's coming up next weekend, and you'll find out more information on our Facebook page. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Coming up, a review of the redesigned Toyota Highlander. I'll tell you all about it and my experience behind the wheel after a quick stop on the In Wheel Time Car Show.
911, what's your emergency?
God, there's a train that just hit a car.
Sir, what is your location? Look around for a street sign, sir.
It's 8th and Orchard. 8th and Orchard.
Okay, very good. 8th and Orchard. Sir, help is on the way.
Why would you do that? The train still hasn't stopped. You have to get there now.
At a railway crossing, even if the engineer sees you and hits the brakes, it can take a mile for the train to stop. And for you, that's too late. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Advance Auto Parts and CarQuest present the Boobs Rock Powder Puff Race. Saturday night, October 17th at Houston Motorsports Park. Gates open at 5. The green flag waves at 6. Wear a mask. Social distancing and sanitizer rules. Enjoy $1 hot dogs and $1 beer. $5 discount. Ticket info online at NASCARHouston.com. Saturday night, October 17th. Gates at 5. Racing at 6. Houston Motorsports Park. All car classes, including the Boobs Rock Powder Puff Race, supporting breast cancer awareness. It's the last race of the season. Boobs Rock. Don't miss it. Going to the Boobs Rock Powder Puff Race tonight.
Should be a hoot.
Yeah, it will.
Or Hooters. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Can you say that? Yeah, you can.
I just did.
Yeah, you did. I like it. Yeah, the Boobs Rock Hooters race. Okay. We'll
Thanks, Gina.
Yeah, thank you,
it's
Gina.
It's a conversation starter.
Yeah, so that's at Houston Motorsports Park tonight.
Or stopper, as the case may be.
And you are the pace car driver. Again.
One of the two, yes, I am. And
so people can come out and get your autograph. Are you going to bring hero cards to sign for people?
None of that. No, but it is time for me to do a car review. May I?
Mother, may I? Yes,
Mother, may I? Okay. So the car review this week is the 2020 Toyota Highlander. Here are the trim levels. It comes in an L, which is the base model, the LE, the XLE, the Limited, and the Platinum. And, of course, I got the Platinum.
You're such a top-tier guy.
I am, aren't I? It's a small, considered by the government, a small SUV, and really it's more along the lines of a midsize.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We'll seat, however, up to 8 passengers because it does have a third row in it now, believe it or not. Exterior changes from last model year, complete redesign this year. By the way, it is built in Princeton, Indiana. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I throw that out there, but it's not.
American-made.
It's not really import. It is, but it's not.
Well, it may be designed in Japan, but it's made in the whole USA. Exterior features, more Tacoma-looking front fascia than the outgoing model, a less Lexus grille look from 2019.
No, I'd agree with that, yeah.
Heavily sculpted sides. Lexus look, however, rear hatch on it. It does have a big sunshade over the hatch window. What I liked about it, sexy looking vehicle. See the sculpting on the side of it?
No,
there?
I like it a lot.
I do too. What could use improvement? I don't know. Racing stripes? I mean, we're talking about off-road racing, but no.
Some 35-inch muddies on it?
That's right. And, 20-inch wheel travel.
Yeah, it's 3-inch body lift.
Interior highlights, great big center dash-mounted control pad.
That is huge.
There is no center stack per se anymore. Have you noticed that? Yeah. It's a big pod that's in there. Jetsons styling. I like it. Cutting-edge materials and design throughout the cabin. Third row is tight, leaves little cargo room behind it when the back row seat is up.
Can I be your Elroy? Jetsons? No.
Sure.
Never mind.
What I liked about it, the modern design, what could use improvement, the third row really not for long trips. It's really for the kids back there, but that's just the nature of the beast.
It's to get them out of range.
It still has the 3.5-liter V6 that turns out 295 horsepower, 263 pound-feet of torque as you look at the great big center pod again. Transmission, it's got an 8-speed automatic. Towing, it'll tow up to 5,000 pounds, so if you've got a
significant
bass boat, there you go. Heavy hauling, hauls up to 1,635 pounds. It's rated at 20 miles per gallon city, 27 highway, for a combined of 23. I got 26 miles per gallon over 293.3 miles. What I liked about it, the engine's got plenty of power coupled with that 8-speed automatic transmission. What could use improvement? Well, some manufacturers now are getting plenty of horsepower, up to 300 or more horsepower out of a 4-cylinder that's turbocharged, and I think that maybe perhaps that Toyota should look into something like that.
Yeah, but still, you got, because that's a significantly sized SUV, and you still got 26 out of it. Not bad.
It's not bad. But, you can get, I think, more out of a...
Push 30 with a Turbo 4.
Yeah, something like that. Just an idea. Ride and handling, scores high on my list on road manners and comfort. What could use improvement? Nothing. No need for a 4-wheel drive, however, in Houston, Texas. This particular one had 4-wheel drive. Why would you get 4-wheel drive in Houston? Unless you're going to go see Grandma a lot that's in a snowy area, why would you use 4-wheel drive here? It's flat.
No trees. Go to No Trees.
Go to No Trees, Texas, and run it there. Base trim price, $48,800. Now, remember, the trim price, we had the top of the line. Prices tested was $51,112. The base model price on the Highlander is $34,600. Competitors,
that's in the sweet spot.
It is a sweet spot. Competitors, the Honda Pilot for $31,550. The Kia Telluride for $31,890, and the VW Atlas for $31,545. Those are its competitors, and that is my review of the 2020 Toyota Highlander. All right, time now for our national race calendar, and Conrad has that.
And again, as they've had to readjust what they're doing because of COVID, you're watching them kind of compress a lot of races into the end of what was typically the end of the season, and now some of them are actually going to roll over into November. So Formula One this week or next weekend is the Portugal Grand Prix, and then they're going to be in Romania on the 31st of October. NASCAR is in Kansas tomorrow, in Fort Worth next week, and then Martinsville Speedway on the 30th of October. IMSA is at Road Atlanta this week, and they're going to be at Laguna Seca on the 31st of October. NHRA is in Dallas this weekend, and then they're going to be in Houston next weekend. And come join us, because we're going to be out there in Houston at the NHRA event, courtesy of Toyota, and get a chance to do some interviews with some of the drivers and stuff, some of the Toyota drivers that are coming out there. So if you get a chance to come on out and see us, please do. And then their finals are supposed to be October 1st in Las Vegas. IndyCar is next weekend in St. Petersburg, Florida. And that's a pretty good picture of the national stuff.
NHRA next week here. And we're going to be there. We hope that we'll be on the air. It's going to be unproven, but we'll see. I'm going to take Friday off and go out there with Mr. Mars and Mr. Ainsley, and we're going to go see if we can get it all set up. And
you got to have faith, baby.
Just keep saying that.
I do it every morning I get up.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, at any rate, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. And the In Wheel Time Car Show continues after this quick break. Hey, thanks for checking us out. Don Armstrong saying be sure and join us live every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com. Our podcasts are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. We'll see you next time.